Hey everyone, welcome to our Insiders Meet the Makers. Today is June, what day is it today? The 13th?
It's the 13th.
It's the 13th of June. I've got Alex behind the camera and I'm just going to take you on a little journey of what's happening in the vineyard today. We're right in the middle of this low, so we're trying to film before the rain comes back, and yeah, let's go. So we're starting off at the Mottiar Estate Vineyard. We've got the winery just behind me, and we're standing in our estate Pinot Noir block. This fruit is all grown for our VINEMOUNT, and so I just want to talk to you a little bit of what's happening from the ground up. All right, so first off, you can see we have cover crop everywhere. You've listened to me before talk about regenerative agriculture and making sure we have great biodiversity and a nice cover crop that can kind of help fix nutrients and get that mineral cycle feeding our vines. So lots of biodiversity here. Some of it's intentional, like these perennial rye. Certainly these clovers here are leguminous and are very good at fixing nitrogen. And but you can see we have lots of other plants growing here, so it provides both a lot of biodiversity to bring in beneficial insects. All right, again, we're still here at the estate vineyard. I just wanted to show you what's happening under the vine. No weeds are growing. We've already gone through and cultivated. In a few rows, it looks like we're going to have to get back out here as the weeds start to grow back again. But it's a very sustainable way of managing the weeds under the vine, so that we have that great airflow going through. You can see the vines are blowing in the wind. That's great for helping to dry out the grapes and the leaves, and getting that sunlight also coming through and passing through to the next vine. All right, so as you can see right now, our shoots have been growing kind of wild as they grow up, but you can see we have two wires here. We call these wires the catch wires. This wire here is the fruiting wire. And once these shoots are big enough, we start to what we call tucking. And we bring them in between the catch wires as gently as we can, so that we now have nice upright shoots. And again, we maintain that great sunlight exposure, and then we can do some more mechanical and handwork to remove leaves eventually and get access to the sun to the fruit. All right, so this is where we're at right now in terms of the growth of the shoots. Everything is growing from the tip here, so this will continue to grow and grow to the top wire. So we're about halfway up the extent of our canopy. You can see these leaves have been growing since early May, so they're about a month old. These leaves here. You can see the clusters. They haven't flowered yet. We're expecting that to happen within a week and a half, depending on what the weather's like. But these guys will open up, flower. If I can find some wild vines, I'll show you what flowering looks like. But that's where we're at right now. And within, like I say, a couple weeks, these will flower and turn to fruit, and we'll be on our way. All right, as you know, we're in the Mottiar Estate Vineyard. This was planted back in 1998, and this trellis has been here for that long. So it's now 25 years old. You can see we have all these wooden posts here, but we've got a new system, and I want to show you. All right, as you can see, we're in a younger vineyard. This is still at the estate. These are our young block of Gamay that we have. That was planted in 2018, so only 6 years old right now. But you can see two things. Everything has these metal posts with notches in them, so we can essentially take the wire out and put it back in and tuck the shoots that way. That's why you can see this row. It's already been tucked. It's so easy. Before these shoots get to this tall, we bring the wires down onto the ground, and then when we're ready to tuck, we come back, pick it up, and just stick it. And we can find whatever notch works best for us. Very adaptable. You can see how, if you get a close-up of this now, all these clusters are just totally exposed to the sun, and that'll help improve the ripeness and get really nice flowering and great fruit set. So you can see our gamay, they're growing really like stink, really. They're really happy where they are, and can't wait to make some great gamay from this. Welcome to the wonderful Mottiar Vineyard. This spot, the last vineyard on the western portion of the Beamsville Bench, with this beautiful view out to Lake Ontario, is one of the most pristine vineyards in all of Canada. And here we are in the Chardonnay block, planted in 1996. So these vines are now into their 20, let me do the math quickly. Someone in computer land can tell me what this is. 4 and 4, 28-year-old vines. They're in the 28th year, and they're nice, big, solid trunks that have been here, stalwarts of the land, creating the most amazing wine. All right, we've just caught up with our guys that are working here at the Mottiar Vineyard, doing a little bit of tucking and thinning at the same time. So you can see all these shoots that have been dropped on the ground. I know it looks very healthy and lots of fruit, but this is what it takes to make great wine, is we have to drop both shoots to improve the airflow so that there's not too all bunched up. You can also get a lot of disease when there's too much leaves and shoots in the way. And then that also reduces the crop, so naturally you focus the energy of the vine to less fruit, and that makes better quality. So these guys are the true winemakers here. Vivian, Adam, Michael, and Barry. They're the guys that are making the most amazing Mottiar Vineyard Chardonnay. Here's one of our youngest plantings of Pinot Noir on the bench. This is at the Mottiar Vineyard. I can't tell you what clone it is. It doesn't really have a name. But what I can tell you is the actual genetic makeup of these clones is more biodiverse than any other Pinot Noir. Tends to be very resilient. It doesn't ripen very fast, but it doesn't rot, and that's a great thing for Pinot Noir. And so far, early indications show amazing color and amazing character. You guys actually got a taste of it in that demo series rosé we made. It actually was the first crop from this block, and I wanted to try it out as rosé first and see what it did. But I have started making some red from it, and we'll see, and so will you. So here at the Mottiar Vineyard, we've got the most amazing rose bushes at the end of our rows. Tradition has it that when vineyards were being farmed with horses, the rows with the roses, they would know which way to turn at the end of the row. And then they also soon discovered that roses were also an indicator plant of powdery mildew. So if you saw the mildew in the roses, you knew it was time to spray for mildew in the vineyard. So for us, I think it's just beautiful. So welcome to the Genova Vineyard. We're standing right in our very young planting of Cabernet Franc. We also have a young planting of Gamay, and of course we have a mature block of Gamay here in Genova. These are the varieties that we find works best up here on the VINEMOUNT Ridge, which is just south and above the escarpment. And so you can see here, you'll see Tristan will be doing some grape hoeing to remove the weeds between the vines, and we have Steve doing some fertilization to feed these young guys, but right now they're very young. They're just, you can see they're young trunks. They were only planted actually 2 summers ago. So we're just taking our time, being very patient, raising these vines. A couple shoots to create trunks, and we've already got fruit on these. We won't want to keep it, so guys will come through and thin these later on when they're done their current job of thinning, and by next year we should be able to take a crop from this. So this is a nice spot, and very quiet and peaceful with a great breeze coming right through.
Dude.
At the Genova Vineyard, and look who we found, but none other than Steve Cornick, our assistant vineyard manager. And Steve, why don't you tell us what you got here and what you're doing?
So what we got here is alfalfa pellets, and we're doing a little bit of an experiment to see if we can add nitrogen to the soil through alfalfa. And it's actually fairly economical for us. I think it was $200 for this whole pallet to do this whole vineyard for the young blocks, which is 5 acres, so it's a little bit cheaper than manure and less manpower.
There you go. Yeah.
So once we get this spread out into there, then out into the rows, we're going to basically go through with the disc and put it under.
Yeah, and hopefully there's some rain that can help dissolve it and get it right into the ground, to the roots.
Yeah, everything's good and wet today, and we got some mud on the tires. And
yeah, there you go.
So
there you go. Alfalfa pellets for not for the rabbits, for the
horses.
Or the horses. So welcome to the Mottiar vineyard. As you can see, we don't have quite a sharp end to the escarpment because we're right near the top of it. So we're at a higher elevation here, a little bit cooler, and the soils are a little bit more stony, especially with a little bit of that limestone underneath. So we get a really great structure to the wines that are here. We're standing in our Pinot Noir here. Again, another great look out to the lake. And this Pinot Noir planted in 2005. And you can see the wire here sitting on the ground. This is an older system where we have these T-rails and the little JR clips to hold the wires. So in about a couple of days time, crew will come here and all they have to do is put the wire up and it'll naturally tuck the shoots up straight. But they need to be long enough for it to work. Alright, so here we are beside a wild grapevine in the ravine beside my place. And as you can see, we're already finished flowering here. So we're a couple weeks ahead with this, and you can already see these berries have started to fruit set. This is what we'll see happening in our own grapes in a week or two. I really don't like these, they make me sneeze.